Ian just left. We're in our outbuilding. So that means that Ian's gonna come back. One of my kids came down. Ian needs to deal with the kids, and then he's gonna hang out for a little bit. But he does bedtime. So I'm not gonna go straight to the unboxing, because I'm assuming, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Uline unboxings is a super exciting YouTube topic. But I'm going to assume that most of you are here to understand why I would spend $2,700 on paper bags, more so than to see my paper bags. So what I'm gonna do for the structure of this is I'm gonna get comfy. I'm gonna talk about the idea behind why I'm doing this like crazy Uline order, like the idea of like the costs of marketing, which is what I think I made part of the title for this. So we're gonna talk about that for a bit while we have Ian here, and then I'll show you all my Uline order stuff. So I'm assuming we'll probably be like a half an hour of talking about that, and then we'll be into the unboxing. So for all you people who are like, Uline unboxing, I can't wait to see, if you're watching this on a replay, just feel free to jump ahead. If you don't care about why I would spend $2,700, you're already sold on spending all of your money on paper bags like I am. Okay, so I made this video because what day? Like Tuesday night, I put together my Uline order. And then I, finalized my cart, and then I was like, oh, like very sad because I spent $2,700. That is the actual amount of money that I spent on my Uline order. And so that was very painful for me. And then it showed up on Friday, so I was like, well, I could talk about this. I don't have any seeds that have showed up yet. And because I know that this is kind of in that business series idea, because this is kind of like the you got to spend money to make money concept. And this is something that I think a lot of people don't necessarily think of when they think of their farm. But from year to year, I've had to spend a lot of money on like marketing supplies, to get started, for being able to do the farmers market, to like buy a tent and to buy a table and tablecloths and all of our display pieces. That whole setup is like multiple thousands of dollars. And so I know so many people are, they like the idea of selling at the farmers market because it feels like a really easy and low investment place to go and to start. But there is money involved in doing the farmers market properly. The better your display, the better, the more your display is going to hang out. Sorry. Getting distracted trying to read and talk. The more your display is going to stand out at the market. And then the flip side, like the reason why we buy all these, like, here, I got myself props for talking. The reason why I buy all of these things, these are like my main marketing tools, is that I feel that these things make it so that I can justify my price point. So I said I spent $2,700 on paper bags, and that is an exaggeration. I didn't actually spend $2,700 on paper bags, but we order from Uline because that's like where we get our paper bags. And the paper bags are the perfect example of something to talk about with you guys when it comes to marketing. Because this bag, this paper bag here, this is just like a grocery store paper bag. And these bags are awesome. They hold a crazy amount. I think that they are rated to like 70 pounds or something. And I don't know. That seems wrong. I definitely would not put, I wouldn't, like, even like 10 pounds. Like that's, yeah, like I'd put like a bag of potatoes in here and expect it to be fine. But yeah, like these can get a little damp and the bottom's not going to tear out. These are very strong. But these bags cost us 25 cents each. And then I also like to do extra work. I have a big stamp. My stamp cost me like $150 to buy. And my stamp pad, to get a big stamp pad that would work for that big of a stamp, it was like $50. And then it takes time. A 40-pound bag. Yeah, the rating on it is like crazy high. The rating on it is like, I feel like it's maybe even higher than 40 pounds, but I wouldn't put 40 pounds in this. I don't understand exactly the rating. Maybe it has like something to do with like how thick the paper is. I don't understand. But yeah. Okay, so this bag, just the bag, cost me 25 cents. I don't know if I said that already. And if you come down to our market, we're not being skimpy on these bags. We're not like, oh, like, do you need a bag? Because like, if you don't need a bag, like, if you come to our stand and you have like an armful of groceries and you're buying one thing from us and it looks like you need a bag, like we happily will give you a bag. But these bags, at 25 cents a bag, if we have 100 customers who take a bag per market, that means that 2,500 cents. Okay, so $25, right? So if we are giving these bags out throughout the entire market, that's $25 that it's costing us just in bags. Right? So that's the first one to kind of explain. Another one, this. I thought I brought this out because someone sent me a message today being all like, do you give the berry boxes away? And if you don't give the berry boxes away, are people like mad that you don't give the berry boxes away? And we give these away all the time. We're like, yeah, here, take it. Like, oh, do you not want a berry box? We'll like bag it for you if you don't want a berry box. But we're more than happy to give away. Oh yeah, and I said we stamp our logo on the bag. These berry boxes, I have like a mini stamp. I don't do it because it takes so much time, and by the time we start using the berry boxes, it's usually like chaos time of the year. But I do have a stamp for being able to even stamp the berry boxes. But yeah, so we have these berry boxes, and if you want one to we pack all this size is our cherry tomatoes. We have 2 sizes on the berry boxes. We have a bigger size too for, I don't even know what we use the bigger size for. Oh, like fruit. We put we did basically everything that comes in a box is $5. So if we fill this up and it's not worth $5, then we don't use this size. We use the bigger size, and then it's $5. Oh, and okay, so another thing, guys, because I just saw someone saying that this bag is 5 cents in the States. First of all, there's no way that this bag is 5 cents in the States, because this is a super expensive, high quality grocery bag. This is the most expensive paper bag that you can buy. Oh, and I buy the recycled. I buy the this one's 40% post-consumer material, or no, yeah, 100% recycled, minimum 40% post-consumer material. Yeah, so these ones are more expensive than the non-recycled ones, but I buy those ones on purpose. But yeah, we are in Canada, so our prices are a little bit higher, but even with the inflation of Canadian prices. Oh, and I think maybe this bag might not actually be 25 cents. This bag might be more like 22 cents. And then I have shipping on top of the basic cost, and then also taxes. You have to pay taxes. Well, the bag tax is 5 cents. It doesn't mean these bags cost 5 cents. I'm telling you guys, these bags, are precious and amazing. And I know these bags are precious and amazing because yeah, 15 cents is probably my guess of cost for a grocery store on these in the States. Not here, 25 cents here. But yeah, I know that people value these bags because I see people reuse these bags. I see them like coming back. And these bags are great. Like you can use this over and over and over again. These bags are pretty amazing. I don't know what brand it is. I buy everything from Uline, and I'm pretty sure that it's just like Uline brand. They all come in like unpackaged or like unbranded. Oh yeah, there. It's Uline brand because it says Uline right on it. Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to that. Okay, so berry baskets. These we give away, same as the bag. We package a lot of stuff in these, and the price, Ian and I were talking about this a bit before, because I haven't crunched the numbers over this last year. I'm just like, go buy more, Ian. But these are probably pretty similar. Maybe more than 15 cents, less than 25 for the berry baskets. I think they were a little bit more money this year than they were on the other year. But yet again, I'm 100% fine with doing this. And then the last thing that we have that we're not super excited about using, which is part of the reason why we have the paper bags and we have the pulp baskets. We also have plastic bags, and we try to pack whatever we possibly can into these. Oh, no, what am I saying? No, opposite. We try to pack whatever we possibly can not into these because we do not want to be using plastic. We'll use plastic in growing because we are able to make sure the plastic that we're getting is reusable plastic, right? Like plastic that's not just getting one-time use. We don't like the idea of the salad mix going out in plastic because it's going to be a one-time use thing. When we first started, the idea was that we were going to. This isn't what I bought this year. So this is what I've been using. This is what I bought the first year. So my idea was that if we got these zipper bags, and they're a heavier plastic, that these would be reusable. The idea was that the customers could reuse this plastic bag for themselves, and so then it wouldn't be a single time use. But what we've come to realize by selling these is that the people who come and buy our salad mix, right? Like the people who want salad mix, they're not the people who are like, oh, I got to make sure to like reuse my plastic bags because I want to make sure that that I'm not like, making all this plastic waste. So we are no longer doing this because I know these are all just ending up in the garbage anyways. This is a 2 mil plastic, and then there's actually a lot of plastic in the zipper. And so what my thinking is that if I use a 1 mil bag, that in the same size, it's actually the same amount of plastic as a third of these. Okay, and so for context, 2 mil is the standard. 2 mil is like what you get anytime you buy something in a produce section, right? It's most likely going to be in a 2 mil plastic. Because a 2 mil plastic, like if I was like wanting to put this into a box and ship it and then have like some kid in the produce section of the grocery store put these out, I would definitely want a heavier plastic because the 1 mil plastic is it's very filmy, it's very light. So the 1 mil I think is fine for going down to the farmer's market. But it is very thin. It's the thinnest that it comes. Oh, Ian, are you not coming back down? You should. I told everyone you're coming. Yeah. So yeah, so at Uline you can buy 1 mil, 2 mil, or 3 mil. And 3 mil would be like really heavy duty. That would be like industrial. That'd be like we're packing screws into a bag. Yeah. So our new idea is that we are doing salad mix in the 1 mil bags, and then each of those bags are going to be like 3 of the 1 mil bags is going to be the same as one of these zipper bags. We know for a fact we're probably the only ones who are reusing these bags, so that will keep a little bit of plastic out of the landfill. And I know I saw some comments about doing, basically doing biodegradable plastics. And Ian and I, we're of the opinion that it seems a lot like greenwashing at this point. All of those like biodegradable plastics. I know that we have different products here than over in Europe. It seems like Europe maybe has some better products, but it still seems like a lot of those like biodegradable plastics. My question for it is it biodegrading into microplastic? And anything that I've looked into has basically not answered that question, because like as far as I can tell, plastic's plastic. It doesn't matter if you made the plastic out of, I mean to a certain point I can understand it being slightly better if cornstarch bags. We have nothing that's just like cornstarch here. We have products that are made out of like corn carbon. We have stuff that's made out of like plastic that's made out of trees. You'll see it on our water bottles, like this plastic bottle is made out of trees. But you're basically just taking the carbon that is in trees and chemically transforming it into plastic, instead of taking the carbon that's in oil and transforming it into plastic. So I think there's obviously a demand for the product. I'm just not convinced the product I have access to the product. And the other thing too is if it gets wet and it just turns into mush, how am I going to store salad mix in it and have it not turn to mush? Because I could also put salad mix into a paper bag. That's like, that's something I can do. But basically, so this is my position. I'm going to put the bag down. Okay, we're going to talk about zero waste for a second. Okay, rant time. Ian should be back just in time for this rant to be over. Okay, so I get told all the time that people really, really want zero waste salad mix. People zero waste. It's a nice trendy term. People want zero waste salad mix, and every single farm stand, every single market day of the entire year, we didn't have salad mix every market, but every time I had zero waste salad mix because it's head lettuce, right? Like if you actually care about not getting your like salad mix coming in like packaging, if like your goal truly is to like not have packaging, then just buy the head lettuce, right? Like, oh, like did you know that head lettuce like will stay super fresh and like super happy, and like it's a completely packaged, like, oh, it comes with its own packaging, which is like even better for it than like head lettuce will keep even better than salad mix inside of a bag, right? Like, but what it comes down to is people want to feel like they're doing something. They're like, like, I don't like, oh, plastic's bad. I'm trying not to like have plastic in my life. And then I'm like, yeah, sure, like head lettuce. We got head lettuce. And they're like, yeah, but like, I also don't want to actually do any work. So I'll just take the bag. I'll just take the bag of lettuce. And I will say, like, that doesn't actually happen. I'm not saying that people come and they're like, I want zero waste salad mix. And then like, they don't do that at the farm stand. That is a Facebook. That's like a me being on zero waste Facebook groups. And people are like, I'm looking for a zero waste disposable convenience item. And it annoys me. I'm ranting about zero waste salad mix. One thing that we do, like, zero waste salad mix is a thing that could exist.
Hey, everybody.
But it would mean that it's just bulk. It's a bulk bin of salad mix.
Which we can't do
at the
I have a lot of hair.
Yeah. We can't do it at the farm stand.
We can't do it at the market.
At the farmer's market
because of food safe. But we could potentially
do it if we had like a farm, like an established farm stand.
There's like some zero waste groups in the Okanagan that I think we could advertise on in the summer and would potentially, bring some people.
Yeah, but yet again, we already sell zero. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Oh, hot dog. Hot dog.
Yeah.
Took me a second to...
Yeah. We sell head lettuce.
We sell head lettuce. If you really care about it. Okay. But that was like me getting onto a rant. The flip side to that rant is we sell salad mix in plastic, even though we don't want to sell anything in plastic. And the reason is salad mix is pure money, right? Like,
well, it is and it isn't. We've considered it like a loss leader before.
Yeah.
So it's not pure money.
But
there's a lot of labor that goes into it, but it also really drives sales.
You can sell a lot of money in salad mix, and like, as long as you're not, when it was a loss leader, that was us like hand spinning it in like this like tiny little kitchen. We definitely was like we need salad mix, but we don't have the equipment.
The first year that we were farming, it was like punctuated with long nights before markets. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even like salad spinner that had like its gears broken.
We're not going back to the dark times, so we don't even need to think about it.
It wasn't even like a good salad spinner. It was like a El Cheapo.
It was the most expensive salad spinner they sold in the store. It was the nicest salad. Yes, I know. We got a new salad spinner today because my mom is like cleaning out her kitchen, and
she's cleaning out her storage locker.
Yeah, she's cleaning out the things that got cleaned out of her kitchen into the storage locker 20 years ago that she's now cleaning out.
So we got a really nice storage locker that you could literally fit 4 vehicles in.
It's massive.
Like
it's like 1,000 square feet.
It just keeps going back.
And it's
deeper
like
and deeper.
Most people who have these have like lofts in them.
And it's like they're like sedimentary rock where you can see the different times of your life. Because before we moved to
we could laugh at my parents' storage locker.
So we've been inheriting some stuff.
Yeah. There's been some really funny stuff though. Did you see what they sent right before this? There was my baby blanket. But that's like the perfect example of the type of stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so we don't like plastic, but we do salad mix in plastic bags because we like money.
Somebody's asking why we wash the lettuce, and since we are like a no spray type thing, washing the salad is the time where we get a lot of the bugs out of the salad. So whether it's lettuce or not, like the heads of lettuce,
it
also gets the field heat off.
If anyone currently watching is our customers, please wash your lettuce. Even when it comes in this bag, and we've washed it a bunch, it's not a product that is necessarily.
Yeah.
We don't wash anything, like
any beyond what is already washed.
No, for us personally. Like I pull a carrot out of the ground. Like
no, you don't eat dirty carrots.
They come out really clean. I like wipe it. Like
Okay, I don't disbelieve you that you do that because you're weird.
But
I wash my carrots before I eat them because I don't like grit in my teeth. But yeah.
Yeah, but
the
wash
salad,
your veggies that you get at the farmer's market.
If anybody asks, like, can I wash this? It's like, of course I'm going to tell you. I have to tell you that of course you should wash all the food that you get at the market. And that's the end of that. But we do triple wash our lettuce.
And by triple wash, we mean it like goes into a sink and then it goes into another sink.
And then it goes into another sink.
Though, yeah, I guess it's usually at this point because we have a 2 sink. It gets like sprayed and then it gets into the sink and then it gets into the other sink.
One of our cats is.
Yeah, he's found my hot dog. Okay.
We'll get this.
But we haven't even gotten to talking about why we do this. Okay, so I've gone through all these very expensive things that we have that we use at the farmer's market. Just leave him be. I don't care.
He's ungettable.
He's like climbed through a maze.
Oh, this is what he wants.
Yeah, it's the catnip. That's what I said.
I didn't realize it was catnip.
Yeah, no, that's why he keeps. But Buddy is the worst cat. I don't know if you've ever heard us talk about Buddy before.
Buddy's bottom tier.
But Buddy's the worst. And I had like a really pretty dried flower bouquet. Here, Buddy. In the house, and he ate it because he's the worst. And so now that he's eaten all the dried flowers inside my house,
he's really
now he comes and he eats all the dried flowers in storage in my outbuilding. Well, hi, Fatty. Fatty's like, you're not petting me right now.
But he was just after this dried catnip.
Yeah. But
and now he's like moved on to eating the gomphrena.
People watching. Why are they saying hot dog? That's funny. Okay. So I spent $2,700 on Uline, which is depressing. And Ian's here just in time. I've gone over like what we have and how much it costs. The reason...
Did you talk about how there was a printer in there?
No, I didn't talk about... I just talked about like paper bags and like the berry baskets.
There is like a label printer.
Yeah, we have like a labeling system coming for our salad mix this year. But that like... that...
Sorry, our buddy is just like
doing the like one hand like dangle that cats do.
Just so we can get up to another level to eat another level of dried flowers.
He's the worst. Okay. So the reason people are liking your hair.
Yeah.
The reason why we spent all this money on all the marketing stuff is our personal business plan is to sell direct to customer. And the reason why our business plan is to sell direct to customer is because that is the way we can charge the most expensive price possible. When you sell stuff to restaurants, they get like a wholesale price, but you don't have to pack it. Like you definitely are not sending them like little like home bags of salad mix. You're sending them with like a box of salad mix, and so they get a deal for that. But our farm is so small, right? Like I've been talking about the numbers. Like our final farm plan is probably only going to be about 24,000 square feet of growing, which is only a half an acre of actual growing space.
Pure, like, is that with paths or what?
That's with paths, but that's like the beds. So yeah. That's not, it'd be like crazy low. It'd be like a third of an acre if you took paths out. But that's like cheating.
I don't know. But I think it'd be more than that.
Well, paths are 18 inches of every 4 feet.
No, I think we'd be growing with more than that.
No, because I crunched Ian doesn't believe me, but I did these numbers. I was like, what? Because 60 beds, including path, is a quarter of an acre.
Yeah, but we're gonna have more than 60 beds.
But
we have all that
but
space
we're
up there.
not gonna have 120 beds, right? The greenhouses are only 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I'm pretty confident on these numbers.
Like the thing about the space though too is when you can plant it out like 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah, like the plan is it's going to be really high intensive. Which like I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like this is like kind of going back to the other video that we did where we talked about the $1,000 bed concept. Give this to Fatty. There you go, Fatty. Yeah, so like we grow a lot and we grow really high intensity in, you know, like as much as we can for as long as we can. So it's not.
Yeah, our final version of the farm will have like 5 high tunnels and
or more
and
then the greenhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say once we get 5 tunnels, we'll be in our final form.
Yeah, we have tunnels coming.
Yeah, we have 2 more high tunnels.
We have 2 tunnels, and then like the greenhouse,
and we ordered,
which is still a tunnel.
Yeah, we ordered like a 30-foot wide.
It's like a double poly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be something that we can get a heater in it, and so then I don't have to grow mold or be limited of how much I can grow.
Right now, we're just trying to, because it's gonna ship out from Ontario.
Okay, but let's get back to the marketing.
Okay.
Because we're at a half an hour, and like I've mostly just said bags are super expensive. Okay, so we're super high intensive, but we're also super small, right? That's basically what we're saying there. So because of that, we our plan for how we want to sell everything is that we want to sell as much as we possibly can retail, because that's our way to get the most money possible. But the other way to make it so we can justify our retail prices, you know, being on the higher end, as opposed to, you know, being like on the lower end. You know, there's definitely people at our farmers market who you can go to the farmers market and you get a crazy deal. You know, it's limited for what you can get from them. But
I don't know. Some of our products at the farmers market are more
some
expensive.
Of ours are the cheapest.
Some are cheaper.
Some of ours are the most expensive.
I think some of ours are the best value because they're so delicious.
Yeah, because you get to come buy them from Ian. One of the selling features, you can come see Ian.
Yeah, I do love farmers markets.
I love the farmers market too.
Since we're like, you know,
I miss the farmers.
2021 is like, you know, we've got seeds that are currently literally cooking for 2021. You know, I'm like, yeah, farmers market, can't wait.
Yeah,
it's like
okay, but marketing, right? Okay, Ian.
Ask me a question.
Would you say that, you know, having like our hot dog, having like our bags, having like our berry packs, you know, like having all this nice marketing supplies that I spent $2,700 on, would you say that like has perceived value to the customers?
People like the paper bags. So these paper bags are pretty big, and sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, you want a paper bag?" And they'll be like, and then I'll be like, "Guilt-free shopping." That's my
because they'll be like,
I don't want plastic.
Yeah, no one wants a plastic bag, right?
And or you know, there'll be somebody. My favorite thing at farmers market.
I was like, yeah, people come up and we're like, just take a bag.
Well, my favorite thing is when people they already have something in their hands, right? And then they buy something else, and then they like put that in their hands, and then they go to pay. So then they kind of like do this, and then they're fumbling with their wallet, and then they can't get any of their cards out. And I'm like, do you need a hand? Like, do you want me to? So then I get a bag.
Yeah, we're like, you know, I was kind of saying this at the beginning, but we're constantly we like open it and like pass it to the customer,
yeah.
Right? So and then like usually the shopping process with us at the farmers market is you like come up and you're like, you know, you're interacting with us like you're going to buy things. We're like, okay, paper bag, and we're like, here you go, like take it. And then they just start loading it.
And then they'll get about halfway through, and they're like, oh, thanks so much.
Well, thank you so much, Barbara.
they'll be like, "Are you keeping track of this?" And which all of our numbers,
everything
all of our
are
pricing
fives.
is really easy to keep track of. $2, $3, $5, $10, $20. It all adds up really easy. So I'm like, yep, just keep going, but don't ask me other questions because I'm mathing in my brain right now.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that I think is one of Serena's smartest ideas is if you look at our farm logo.
I already talked about putting the stamp on.
Yeah.
But so
I'm super down with that.
Are people like, oh, like, do they notice it?
Well, I tell everybody everything. What I want people to notice, I just tell them. So I'm like, you know what's really cool? I was like, my wife is so smart. When she was designing our logo, she did it with a line drawing so we could use a stamp and then we didn't have to put plastic on
which
there.
is true. I picked our logo so that it would look good as a stamp.
Mm-hmm.
I was very intentional.
Nobody's going to like connect the pieces together to know that that's why you did your design like that. But when you tell them, they're like, that was interesting.
Almost 400 people just got the pieces connected.
Yeah. So, you know.
Mathing in my head. Oh, but Buddy's still being
ridiculous. Our cat is.
Okay, so people like the bags. What about the packaging?
This people half the time they're like, can I just like dump it into a bag? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
They'll dump it into a bag that they already have, or they'll ask for the smaller version of our paper bag.
We have like a lunch bag.
Yeah.
Right? And we have lots of people don't want the greens necessarily on the carrots. So we like snip them into a bag.
Or if it was like a thing of strawberries, maybe they just dump it in their purse.
But lots of people empty these. Also, people who shop on the farm, a lot of the stuff they're bringing back.
Yeah.
Which we try not to.
Well, we use these for other things.
We use these for other things, but we try to not. It's not the most food safe thing to like be.
Well, we'll use them for
dirty ones of this.
Yeah, we'll use them for like our elastic band.
In the summer, my kitchen counter is just like covered in these. And one of our customers at like probably like 2 years ago now, this was like in the first year, they brought like this massive one and like returned it to me, and I was like, oh. And so now I'm like, oh, my precious basket. It's my garlic holder in our kitchen, which, it's the little things in life, like a really big berry basket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Like people.
So basically,
these are good because like people will buy like cherry tomatoes in these, and then the only thing they'll do with them is because most of the time when people buy cherry tomatoes, they want them in a bag. They don't bring them in that. So then they just dump them, and then I just fill them back up.
Yeah. And like if it's at the market, and the cherry tomatoes are dry, right?
Yeah.
Like
there's no mark on it or anything like that.
So then we will refill it.
Because then the next person just dumps it too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, but it makes for measuring really easily. Because that's the other thing too. Nothing is sold by weight for us. Everything is sold by bunch or basket. Which makes it like very easy for selling because it's just units. It's like 1 unit, 2 units. And then, I on the farm end am controlling the sizes.
Sometimes people come up and they'll be like, what's your price per pound? And I'm like, here goes. I'm gonna have to take some flack for my prices from this customer because that they're wanting, like grocery store pricing, and
which like makes me laugh because if you like most zucchinis are like a pound, and like at our grocery store, zucchinis will be like $2.99 a pound. But then people come and they're like, "You want $2 for a zucchini?"
They'll be like,
"It's like, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give it to you for a deal, $2.99 per pound, just like the grocery store." But yeah,
no measuring.
Yeah, no measuring. If you want us to measure, then we don't want you as a customer.
One of the things about how we can make money on.
Okay, so
we have to be efficient, right?
Okay, so my premise, like kind of like what I'm getting at with all this marketing stuff, is we can charge these higher end prices.
Well, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. I like the stickers.
Yeah.
We can charge these higher end prices because of the fact that the marketing. looks nice, right?
Yeah, the stand looks really nice, and I don't think our prices are like I said before. There, if you know the prices, you could shop at our stand and get like some super cheap per like volume per calorie or whatever food,
Hmm.
and then you could also if you kind of got everything that you didn't get, you could pay more than maybe you would in other places. But I think that when you come and you just buy a random selection of our food, you're not like getting hosed by it.
Okay, but I guess like more like obviously I'm fine with spending $2,700 on Uline because I did it. And I know for a fact Ian's fine because I used his credit card and he wasn't like, "What are you doing?"
Well,
But
yeah,
like
you
so
bought $1,000 of that was like the printer,
no, it was $600.
but then how much was all the paper for it
I spent about $1,100 on labeling
with the printer?
with the printer.
Yeah,
But that's marketing,
yeah.
right? Like,
But the printer is like a one-time expense.
yeah, I figure
There's always going to be more one-time expenses, right? You're every year you're like, oh, I need this upgrade and that upgrade. So it's hard to just be like, oh, now we've got everything we ever need, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, we never need to buy a label printer ever again.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure the label printer has like the more we print, the faster it's going to die, right?
Yeah, it uses ink.
No, it actually doesn't. It's a thermal
It's just
laser
like
printer.
lasers.
But that means it means it has like heat elements. But that means eventually the heat element will wear out on it.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything has a lifespan. It's not going to last forever. But I'm
definitely feeling my
buying
lifespan
the
lately.
label printer is like part of what it costs to have labeled salad mix, which is the plan. Like we haven't unboxed I'm still going to show you guys, but the plan is that we are going to, on the plastic bags, we're going to have like a label that says like Red Roof Family Farm and then like what is inside, because we've been selling it unlabeled, and we're getting away with it because like the farmers markets that we've done, people have really liked us, and so no one's thought to say anything, but I'm pretty sure that we're supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be.
We have to label our greens mix.
Yeah. So. I'm gonna. This is a great comment.
How do you bring it back up?
I don't know how to bring it back up, but I know what I'm gonna paraphrase it. JM Fortier says that you should increase prices to better serve loyal customers, and that is like 100% what the concept, like from the very beginning. Yeah, Bonnie of Bluebell Barn said it. Yeah, from the very beginning, the plan was that we didn't want to be going to the farmer's market and competing on price because we didn't want to build a customer base that is loyal to buying the cheapest product at the farmer's market. What we wanted to do was to build the customer base that wanted to shop with us, right? And so that means that, like we said earlier, some of our stuff's a really good deal. Some of our stuff is a little bit more expensive. We are better off charging what we have to charge for the products. And, if it means that we only can serve like 1 out of 2 customers because that other one is looking for the 50-cent zucchini, not our zucchinis, we are 100% fine with that, because the last thing we want to do is to be cultivating that $1 customer.
There's no loyalty there,
like
right?
who doesn't
because then as soon, if you're like, you know what, I gotta increase my prices because I wasn't making any money and couldn't buy any food for myself, well, then all those customers are gonna be like, well, we actually can go find it cheaper somewhere else, so later.
Yeah.
So you have no control over your pricing once you compete for that customer.
Yeah. And the other thing too that I was saying earlier on, like about how like, oh, we just like, this bag is 25 cents. This bag costs a lot of money. Every time you come up to me and I'm like, oh, take this bag, I'm like literally throwing quarters at everyone. But because our business is being built on these prices where we can afford to buy these bags, it means that we can be generous with our bags, right? Like we don't have to be like, well, you didn't spend $20, so you don't get the 25-cent bag, right? And it also, the other thing too with our, like, this is, we haven't talked about it in this specific video, but we talk about this all the time. Like there's no sale, there is no deals.
I only have a short amount of time, so I gotta go do the kids.
Okay, I'll finish this point and then you can say whatever.
I can say my
like your thing. Yeah, we don't do deals, we don't do sales, but because of that, we're able to be generous and give things away for free, right? So if a customer comes and they're like a regular customer and they're interested in a product of ours, we can be like, oh, take one, like try it. Or, if we have 1 million zucchinis, we can give a zucchini away for free instead of bottoming out the price on them and trying to sell them all at that lower price, or if we don't do any of that, it can come home with us and we can give it to the food bank where, where we're more than happy to see food go.
Sometimes I'll give people a deal if they're annoying.
That is the exact opposite.
I know.
You're supposed to never give
I know, but it's not for the reason that they think. I'm not giving in to them. I'm just trying to get them to go away. So I'm just trying to come to an agreement so that they can go on. Because
this is okay. The reason why I'm telling Ian that he shouldn't give an annoying customer a deal is because they're gonna come back when the annoying customer comes, who's like wasting your time and being a pain in the butt. Those are the customers that you're like, oh, we actually have you're a pain in the butt upcharge, and we charge you double for that. And so they go away and they don't come back and bug you the next week because there's just not enough hours in the day to deal with them.
I always judge each circumstance, but it's like if I have a customer that is taking a long time and they're really trying to hassle about prices, and then there's another customer that's waiting, because if people wait too long,
then they leave.
They do leave.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, I'll get you when I come back around, and then they never come back, right?
Yeah. It's like those video games.
So I'm just like, just give me, and then they'll be like, oh, let me find it. I'm like, don't worry about your quarters. just take your food and leave. and then I can roll eyes with the next customer. Be like, ooh.
Okay, and let me say, because I know that like us complaining about annoying customers obviously sounds that sounds bad. When we say annoying customer, we're not saying like, oh, they asked a lot of questions. Like we 100% want people to ask us questions. Yeah. We want people to like hang out. What we mean by that is like people are gonna come and be like, well, you better let me get this cucumber for only 50 cents, and then they like dig through and they're like, this one's blemished, like, will you give it cheaper? And it's like, no, go away.
Yeah.
If you like, go find someone else to bother.
Yeah.
Because we don't literally, we don't want you as a customer. We do not have $1 items on our farm stand as a policy, because we do not want $1 customers, because there's not enough time at the farmer's market. It's too busy.
Yeah, it takes too long to deal with customers to make small transactions.
Yeah, that's why we have baskets. So every $1 item that we sell is $5, and you get a basket of them.
Yeah. Let's see what other. I'll give stuff away.
Okay, no, but what about? Because I do want to know what you have to say on my thesis, my topic of the cost of marketing.
Yeah. Well,
because I know you have to go, so
we keep our supplies as minimal as possible. I feel good when I go around a market about what we do, because we're using elastic bands instead of plastic bags. Elastic bands are still like bits of waste. We do use plastic bags sometimes, but some weeks all it is elastic bands, and there's no bags at all on our stand. And I think that's one of the reasons that like the colors really pop, is that we don't have.
Yeah, it's not
just like bags of stuff, and there, like, I think it works for a customer. Kelowna is it has like a very sophisticated farmers market customer, because like we've had the farmers market culture here for a while, and it's also like a foodie type culture place. we have all these wineries and all these like high-end restaurants, and you know, it's like a destination for
Yeah, it's like a
BC.
tourist town, you know, and I feel like a lot of people who live here, you know, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And enjoy
It
the
it
touristy
gets
things.
it's like the summer Canadian getaway for people who live in Vancouver and people who live in Alberta, both places of which are, you know, very rich in Canadian terms. So they come here with all their money and they want to do all their vacation-y stuff. And one of the things they want to do is go to the farmer's market. And yeah, so there's this customer that knows what they want, or they've seen all these weird things, or they've already researched it. They knew it 10 years before it was trendy everywhere else. And that customer, when you're like, we're trying to do the zero waste thing, where we're minimizing our, you know, I'm like, it's not zero waste, but it's as minimal as we can possible. People like that, right? And I think people come back for that. Ultimately, people are going to shop for the food.
Yeah,
and
if the food's no good.
And I hear it all the time. I'm like, you guys' carrots are great. People come back for the carrots. You know, people really love the flowers. The flowers get a lot of attention. The tomatoes were really big, and the cucumbers this year were like a bunch of comments about the cucumbers.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about the cucumbers.
I have a few cucumbers that
Oh.
I already know.
Let's do it. Team flower.
Oh yeah, okay.
Team flower.
Okay, before Ian goes, because we want to do this in every live video, but we always forget because we have the worst memories. Okay, let's do the vote. Team flowers or team veggie?
Yeah, team flower.
My favorite thing about doing this is, which also reminds me, oh, thanks for joining the membership. Yeah, so
I'm trying to catch a cat.
I love that because I spent so much time making the little members logos for being able to do this vote.
That was like,
but I love that like all the members are like, you guys are just like always throwing out the like the team,
little emojis,
the little team veggie ones, because I'm always like, yeah, sure, Ian might
I've seen
have
lots of flowers.
Yeah, but all the members are team veggies.
Team flowers.
Right? I'm like sure.
Team both.
Ian has some flower lovers, but they're not as committed. They're not as committed as the veggie lovers.
I've seen lots of team flowers. Oh yeah, we're on a roll here.
I do agree.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one thing about when we do the vote.
If you like both, can you say?
Oh, look, we had a members team flower.
If you like both, can you call yourself biannual?
That's a pretty good joke. That's like warms my heart because I'm like, Ian knows what a biennial is. He's come so far.
If you're team both, you have to say you're biannual. Okay, I have to go put our little monsters to bed. They're probably ripping our house apart as we speak.
We bribe them with, oh, thanks so much. We got more. I like to imagine that all these people are joining as members so that they can get that team veggie emoji and throw it at you.
You have to convince Serena to do an inside the house live video next week so I can join in too.
Well, the only reason why I'm doing this is so that I can do all my Uline stuff.
Look at my cool dudes. This isn't.
That's just you having like greasy hair, right?
Yeah, this is. Well, my hair is so thick.
Ian has a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Biennial.
Anyways, later everybody.
Okay, and here, like, I'm the worst when it comes to timing on these things. I'm like, well, people know what they're getting into at this point. Everyone knows these take forever. But I did say it's probably only gonna be a half an hour. We're gonna go and we're gonna actually do the unboxing that this video was titled. I got you on my tripod, but I gotta play around with this a little bit. I was pretty happy when all this Uline stuff showed up. Okay, let's start over here. Okay, awkward, but here, I'm gonna point this in this box. Then I'm gonna come sit down over here. So, I've ordered all my seeds, but because of COVID, all the shipping is taking forever. So my seeds, they're not here yet. But I'm pretty confident they're gonna be here before I need them in mid-March for doing all my seed starting. But so I was very glad that I at least have this stuff. Because one of the things that I had a huge issue with because of COVID this year, because I didn't in the spring, I didn't even think about doing all this market ordering because it's really easy to forget about it. But I use like these are my precious. These are elastics. And for some reason, the elastics that I like to use are like impossible to find. Yeah, so now I have a bunch. I was like scrambling to find elastics last March, and I had just enough. I squeaked through. But so this year, lots of elastics because I plan on having lots of food. We want to, we have an employee, so we want to grow and sell twice as much. Oh, thank you so much. Candace, this is me being very blind. Yeah, so I have like, I thought I bought 12. Oh, okay. I messed up on my order. I thought I'd like change some numbers in the cart, and then I didn't save it when I went to save it. So yeah, I've only 8 boxes of elastics, but it should be enough. So the elastics that I like to use is I like to use an 1/8 of an inch thick, and then a 2-inch is what we use on most of the bunches. But I also have a 2.5 inch for some bigger stuff. I like the 2.5 inch for when I do elastics around the base of the flowers. But I also, so I was saying earlier that a lot of our customers will bring back their whatever they have left over from their order because they also want to be as low waste as possible. But because the elastics, I'm pretty food safe paranoid all the time, so I don't reuse elastics. I use fresh elastics every time. But when people bring back their elastics to me, I use those then on the flower bunches. Because I can get, hopefully no one's buying my flowers to eat. Because I'm definitely not being food safe. Most of them you probably could eat if you wanted. I'm not using any sort of chemicals on them or anything. But yeah, I'm not being as paranoid about everything. Okay, and then look at this. I was stoked to find this. Oh, thanks, Hook Sets and Heiser Outdoors. Thanks for joining. Yeah, well, you know what? You can eat a lot of the flowers. Okay, yeah, so these are canning lids. I was all stoked to find these because these are like really hard to find, like here in the best of times. So they were limiting them because everyone's like crazy about canning stuff right now. But I got 6 packs, which is, oh, you know what? Oh, no. Okay, there's 6 packs. Yeah, so that's awesome. So got some canning lids. I can do some canning up. What else? Okay, so I have this. So I said the new plan is I don't have the Ziploc seal on the bags. I don't have the zipper bags anymore. So I need a new way of closing the bags. So I have this. It's like a little sticker tape. And then it like runs through here. And then you like pop the bag in there. And it puts like an auto tapes up the top of the bag. You take the bag and you twist it and then it makes it nice and fast. So I'm excited about that. And oh, you guys, this, I've been obsessing to Ian and he doesn't care. So I have to like spend 2 minutes and obsess to you guys. These are grease pens. This is, it's like a waxy, here, what are these actually called? Wax pencil. This is, so it's white. And so this is how I can write what I have growing in my seedling trays. And then I don't have to worry about it fading off. because China markers. There we go. That's another word for it. Because the issue is, so quite often I use Jiffies, and I will write on a piece of tape onto the thing. Oh, sorry guys. My alarm. I put my phone on do not disturb. My alarms go off. All my notifications ding. I get my phone calls. My phone is. There's so many things wrong with my phone. So Sharpies, I use these and they fade. Even the black Sharpie on the tape, it fades. I can usually get a month without it fading. But for some stuff, like they'll be in seedling trays for a couple months. Like the tomatoes spend, like at least 6 weeks in the trays. So this isn't always the best solution. And then I'm like, what is this? And I'd have to try to figure it out. So I'm really excited for this, especially for those Lysianthus that I have that are going to have to be in trays for a million years. Okay, what else do I got in here? Oh, here. Oh, this is perfect because I can talk. Yeah, so the wax pencil shouldn't fade because the wax pencil it's not gonna like fade away in light. It's just like grease on the plastic, and then because it's grease, it's waterproof, so it won't wash away. But when I want it to be gone, I can take soapy water to my trays and wash it, and then it should be gone. Oh, you know what? Housekeeping for like 1 second, because I see there's a bunch of members here. So we have a members only live, and we're gonna do it on Fridays. I haven't written in the community post yet, but I'm thinking the Friday is gonna work. There wasn't very many views on last month's member only live. The way that I do it is there's a link. It's like a private video. So in the member only community posts, they're really easy to find on your mobile. But I know I've had people tell me that they have a hard time finding them on their desktop, and I know a lot of you guys watch us on desktop. So the way to find the community tab, and this is useful information for anyone else who ever wants to leave a comment on our videos, because we always make a community post for every one of our videos, because we love to hear from you guys, but our comments are turned off on the videos by YouTube. So it's not like we don't want comments. They're not available to us on our channel, but we have comments on our community posts. So if you're on desktop, if you go to if you search You Can't Eat the Grass and go to our channel, on the very top, there's like a list of tabs, and you kind of have to scroll over on it. And one of them will say community, and under there, then it'll be like a wall of all the posts. And so for the members, there's posts that are they're just visible to members. And so in there, there will be, something about a link that you will need, and you have to click or save the link to get to the members only live, which will be this Friday. So, I suspect people don't necessarily know about it, because I think we only had one view after the fact of whoever wasn't available there with us. So info for everyone about how community posts work. And then hopefully we can make sure that most of the live members are able to, the members can make it to the live too. Okay. So I bought a pack of Jiffies, and I have Jiffies because I also have these, because I've had a few people be like, Serena, you have these weird coffee stir sticks in your Amazon wish list. What is up with that? What are you doing with all these weird wooden stir sticks? And what we do with this is how we label all of our seedlings. So I'm sure you've all seen people talk about using a popsicle stick to then label like plants, right? Like you write on the popsicle stick, you stick the popsicle stick into your little seedling. I think that's a great idea. I want everything that is part of the seedlings to be compostable. So because my idea is like, so we do our seedlings in newspaper pots. You just plant it right into the ground. And I also want the little labels to be, you could plant it in there. And then if you just leave it at the end of the year, it just disappears. It composts into the dirt. So these stir sticks I like because they are, they're a lot smaller. So they compost really easily. And then I can get a lot more of them too for the space. I know I have all the cats, they're all running around behind me. And then I also like this because these are actually like tall, right? Like a popsicle stick only comes to about here, whereas these have all this extra height. And I like having all that height because my plants are so tall that it's nice to be able to like stick them in and still have like a good amount of space up above where I then use Jiffy's, write the name of the variety, right? So it'll be like Pink Berkeley written on a stick in Jiffy, stuck into the newspaper pots. And that will be a Pink Berkeley tie-dye tomato, which I will have, hopefully. Okay, here, this. So I'm dying, guys. Okay, I'm gonna get a prop. I'm gonna get something to show you guys. Oh, falling everywhere. You know what? Ian's hidden everything on me. Okay. I made all these sleeves for my dried flower bouquets, and I needed a stapler. I know I'm like, this right here is all this like wood that's like filled up in here. So there's many trip hazards. Oh, okay. Look at this. Look, I was more excited than a human should be about buying one of these. So I needed a stapler to staple the sleeves shut on my dried flowers, and I couldn't find a stapler that would work. This is like what I wanted. I wanted to buy one of these, but they were like, no, this doesn't exist anywhere. There's a run on staplers due to COVID, in Kelowna when I needed the stapler. And I couldn't even find staples for like a little handheld stapler that I had. I had to buy like a stapler and staple set even just to get enough staples to do the thing. But this is what I really wanted, right? Because if I'm doing 50 bouquets a week, this is a lot more ergonomic to grab one hand, stable. But yeah, so excited. Yeah, so I'm happy for that. And then I bought staples for it because I need staples. More stir sticks. I bought a dozen of these. There's like a 500. Maybe I bought more than a dozen. If I only bought a dozen, that's only 6,000 seedlings. I don't know if that's enough. Labels. Maybe I need more. Oh wait, I bought a mini scale. This is for us to be able to do our salad mix. We weigh how much goes into the bag so that, we're not underfilling the bags. We can, keep an eye on how much is getting stuffed in there. I have a scale, but I'm going to be having an employee. So now we can both have a scale. We can both stuffed bags. So always good to have two of that, or like, if someone, misery loves company. So if someone wanted to come and stuff salad bags with me, then I have a company scale. I have a guest scale. Oh, and so with Uline, if you spend like a lot of money, then you get a free gift. And I spent so much money that there was actually like good free gifts. So I got a little speaker. I would have appreciated $100 gift certificate from Uline, or like a 2% off my sale. more than the speaker, but I guess we can have music at least. Okay. Oh, that feels a lot better. I was all like, hey guys. Okay. I know this stapler. I'm telling you guys, very good hand feel. Highly, I'm very excited. I'm more excited than a human being should be about a stapler and some elastics. Okay, now I gotta show you the present I bought myself. This is the rest of my stack of Uline things. Okay. Yeah, I'm done literally hanging upside down in front of my box. This Uline order was pretty massive. Here, let's see if I can. This is very awkward because I have it on my tripod. But so this is one of my. Okay, bear with me as I try to angle this. So this is one of my tables. This is like one of my folding tables, and it's like filled. It's filled with Uline. It's filled with Uline boxes. And then I also have like a whole shelf full of like Uline stuff. Okay. But this, I was like, Ian, I was bad. I bought myself a present. And he's like, I don't care. He lets you like, I'm the only one who ever feels bad about buying things. He's like, buy whatever you want. I don't care. He's like, yeah, sure. You spend $6,000 on Uline. I don't care. I'm like, I didn't spend $6,000 on Uline. That's too much money. It's hard to complain. Rolling shelves. Uline is like so dangerous for me. And I know I've seen like lots of people do not like Uline. I really want to open this up and show you guys. I buy it from there because it's like way cheaper. You know, it might be like a Canadian thing. Because it definitely seems like the company's set up to just be a convenience thing, not necessarily like a deal. But you know, the place that I'd go to buy a lot of like, you know, because a lot of this is like paper bags and like food packaging stuff. You know, like those stir sticks. Those are like a coffee stir stick. You could buy this stuff at like a restaurant supply place. There's a grocery store that we shop at, which has a lot of the stuff there too. But it's a lot cheaper. And then there's also like there's a place for us here in town that's like shipping supply like store. And I priced it there too, and it's just so much cheaper from Uline. And then they have everything. You know, like they have every single option I could want. So there is convenience to it too. But yeah, and it's fast. It's crazy how fast. Even with all the COVID stuff. Okay, so this is my present that I bought myself. Oh, this makes me happy. Box cutter. I totally I considered putting box cutters into my order, but then I was like, you don't use box cutters. I normally would have my fanny pack on and I'd have my snips and my knife, but I don't need my uniform yet because I'm not farming. Okay, so what this is, this thing that I'm very excited about that Ian does not care at all. This is an anti-fatigue mat. The floors in this outbuilding are cement, which I love. It's like a poured cement floor. I don't have to, like, everything just goes on the ground. I like dump water on the ground. You know, I don't have to care. You do not care about my anti-fatigue mat. He's all pretending. He so much doesn't care. He doesn't even know what I'm talking about right now. Because I've like been like, oh, that mat. And he's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so this is a 2 foot by 4 foot anti-fatigue mat. And I'm so excited about this because I spent so much time standing here in the outbuilding on these floors doing the bouquets, you know. Here, I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'll show you exactly what I was doing. This is what I was doing. standing working with all the flowers on these concrete floors. And, you know, this literally is, it's like still set up because I haven't finished working with it. But, you know, like, so this is like the whole table. And so like all I'm really doing is moving like side to side. So I was getting like super, you know, and then it was also like at the end of a long day. It was always like something that I saved for like the very end. So I was, you know, I was always tired at that point anyways. So I'm very excited to have this anti-fatigue mat, which can just lay in front of the table for when I do my oh, it's very curled up. I'm gonna start the process. Cats are all freaked out because I'm throwing mats everywhere. But yeah, the anti-fatigue mat for doing the bouquets is gonna be really nice. It was like $50, I think. I got like the super thick one. And then I was also like, oh, because I'm basically gonna set up a seed starting station, and that'll be like doing the bouquets. That'll be like I'm on my feet, standing there, just like for days and days and days. So I'm looking forward to having that mat, because that will make it a much more pleasant day. And then, you know, I have one. I can drag it around whenever I want it. Ian's like, what? You're gonna like kneel on it in the garden? And I'm like, no, because he doesn't. Is he still there? He doesn't know how hard I work. He doesn't know what I do when he's not around. I'm joking. Ian knows how hard I work. Okay, so I said I did lie. I didn't buy $2,700 worth of paper bags, but I did buy a lot of paper bags. So here's one. This is a 6 by 4 by 12. I bought all. I bought the 4 biggest sizes of the paper bags. Because I wanted some smaller ones. One of the main, so we still are left with paper bags from the first year that I ordered, those 25-cent bags. You know, they are 25 cents each, but we're not going through them super fast. So I still have some. I don't really need a ton, but we went through a lot of these smaller bags. We ran out of them before the season was over. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what size they were from like my memory. So I figured I'd buy a lot of these smaller bags. But I think that so I bought the biggest size bag, and then I bought, you know, each size down. So this one looks like it is the smallest size. And so my thinking on this, I mean, and so you know how before we were talking about how the customers, they want us to empty their berry baskets into a paper bag. These are like the bags. This is kind of the perfect size. And that's probably part of the reason why we went through so many. Because I think, let's find the label. I think that these has, I think that these are like 500 packs. Yeah, so 500 per bundle. And so, yeah, so we went through a lot of these. And like, you know, like I said from the beginning of this video, I'm not like, oh, it's 25 cents. You know, the berry boxes, like I do not worry about the fact that the berry boxes, you know, have a cost to them. The cost of all of this packaging that we buy is, you know, we can more than cover it. And I'm aware. I know how much it costs. So it's not like I'm not accounting for like the amount of money that we're spending, right? Because everything that I sell has to be me able to sell it for the price that it is, and be worth my while, right? It doesn't matter if I can sell something, it doesn't matter as much as if I can make money and sell it, right? If I'm going to lose money every time I sell something, then I should probably figure out that I'm losing money on it, and I should stop growing and selling that thing so I can stop losing money. Yeah. So yeah, the live stamping party. That's a great idea. Because I was thinking I should try to pre-stamp, like, maybe like 500 or so of the bags. We usually only stamp the big bags. Like these little bags, it's not really worth the effort. Because most like we were saying, so people they'll want the berry basket unless they're just getting like a basket of cherry tomatoes. They're probably not going to leave with this. They'd almost like want throw it in there and then we put it into the bigger bag. It's just like a way for them to all stay together. But yeah, so the other thing that we did with this, here, let's get a prop, is cats, you're being crazy. Okay, so someone would buy a bouquet, right? And so we'd grab the bouquet and it would be in the water and we'd pull it up out of the water, and these stems are all dead and dry, so they're not doing it. But we're gonna use our imagination. This has just come out of the water. So this is like dripping water. It's like drip, 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 drip. No one wants to walk around with this dripping water all over them. Or they also don't want to put this dripping water into their bag, get everything all wet. It's the buddy is here, and Bo's all freaked out because he thinks some wild animals coming in through the cat door. Yeah, okay, so drippy ends. We used a ton of these bags. We'd take the ends, throw them into the bag, and then we bunch it up. And then this is, when people bought, we didn't do sleeves on our flowers, but almost, most of our bouquets weren't that tall, right? So almost all of our bouquets were going home looking like they're sleeved because we'd put them in these paper bags. And the function of that was, it keeps all the drips in, so they're not making a mess for everyone. Yeah, so I think I could do even a smaller size, right? Because this year I'm gonna do a paper wrap on them for the top, but we still are gonna have the issue of the drips, right? Because they're still gonna go to the market in water, so I still need something like this. I was thinking that this bag was gonna be a lot smaller. I was thinking this was gonna be less of a lunch bag size and more of, those like little like paper bags that you get to put like candy in. We could do newspaper too. We don't get that much newspaper though. We I'd have to. I already have people who save me all their newspaper for me to be able to do the paper pots. Sorry, I'm just putting this back. But yeah, to do newspaper on the bottom. It's an option, but that'd be like I need an army of people because around here no one gets newspapers, right? And we don't get that many flyers. The other thing too is they look good in the bag, right? The bag, we liked the bag because the bag basically made it look like it had a sleeve on it. So it served a purpose. Not everyone wants. Some people are fine with the drips too. Not everyone wants one of these. But yeah, okay. So more about bags. Oh, and so I know this is like crazy long, but let's do a backstory. So when I was like getting ready to make my very first Uline order, making my very first Uline order. Before I started the farm. Okay, so before I planted a single seed into the ground, I needed to have my merchandising stuff like on hand to be ready to go for once I started harvesting things. Like the stir sticks. I did like all of that. I had organized before I started my seedlings. So I had all of my marketing supplies ready, but I struggled so much trying to put together what I needed for my marketing supplies, because it's very, very easy to find details about the spacing that people grow their lettuce on, or how many days it takes to germinate carrots, or like there's so many of these growing details that I found really, really easy to find. But then I was left, and I'm like, yeah, but what size bag do I order from Uline? Um, and like I'm now part of like some groups, but it's like it's really hard to find these these very basic things. These are things that like you don't necessarily think of before you have to go order it for the first time. And like, even for me now, I take it for granted. I know, like, I have an idea already of what I want. Like I'm kind of laughing about like, oh, I bought all the sizes of Uline paper grocery bags because I don't know exactly until I start using them. I don't know what size I'm gonna need. And so it was very much that struggle. So like when it comes to like the little like so those zipper bags that I had, those are a 9 by 12 bag. Oh yeah, I just saw that. Thanks so much for joining the members there. Um, yeah, 9 by 12 bag, but I was like, is that going to be big enough? Is that going to be too big? I also have a 6 by 9, because you don't necessarily know how much is going to fit in it. And so the 6 by 9, is like the 6 by 9. Here's a 6 by 9. Like I can measure. Obviously, like I can pull out a tape measure and be like 6 by 9. But I was like, what is gonna like how much is gonna fit inside a 6 by 9 of lettuce, right? And so, but this size bag ended up being perfect. We put herbs in this. Basil's really, really sensitive to cold. So we put the basil into bags like this, and it keeps it happier in the fridge, and then it keeps it fresher. Because people like a lot of basil. Like people will want to get more basil than just a little bunch. So we do sell basil in these little bags. But so it ended up being perfect for herbs. But it's it's kind of one of those things you have to play around with, and it's hard. It's hard to get those details when you go to a farm. You kind of it's very much a trial and error thing. So so this year, like I was saying, I bought all these Uline bags, and here, this is the smallest, that one that I just opened up and showed you guys that I was saying would be good for drips. I was kind of hoping they'd be smaller. I can probably, now, hey, stop it. Stop being bad. Cats are funny. Going to order, like the next time I order, I could probably throw an even smaller paper bag onto that order. But it's not like this is gonna go to waste. This will still be of use. But so what I'm doing, I'm opening the next one. Show these to you guys. So the Uline bags that I had prior is I had this small one. I had this like paper lunch bag, and they were great. I used them for the drips, and we used them to hold small amounts. If people bought carrots, if people wanted like a bunch or two of carrots without the greens, they would take that. And so we ran into this issue that I noticed, that people didn't necessarily want that really big bag, right? Because that big bag, that holds a lot. They're great because they hold so much. When in the spring, I was selling a lot of $20 bags, and they were, I was having them like pre-packed, like pre-mixed, just, random, best of whatever was available on the farm. And then I was having them in my fridge. People could come and grab them. They're $20. It was really easy. And it was like right when all the COVID stuff was happening. So it was when people, they didn't necessarily want to, go to the grocery store if they could like pull in, no contact, grab this bag. And so they did quite well. But the one thing about the spring is all we basically have in the spring is greens. And greens are big, right? Like a big head of lettuce, right? We sell our lettuce for $3 or 2 for $5. And so these mix bags, you know, it was like basically like the equivalent of 8 heads of lettuce. But these oversized grocery bags are are so big that they held, you know, they held all those bulky greens with no problem at all. And then they also they're nice because they're strong, right? So if you wanted to load a bag up full of zucchinis, they'll hold the weight too. But we have lots of customers who, you know, so if you're buying $20, those big bags, guys, these are like not coming out. Okay, getting serious here. Yeah, so those big bags were great, and the small bags were too. But we had this like awkward size order, which is probably our most common purchase at the farmer's market, which is like a $10 order, right? Like they grab like a bunch of carrots and they bunch. This is like whoever packed this one was like it is like not coming. Like I know the story. I'm never gonna get through this story, but this is like ridiculous. I don't like. Come on. Okay, we're just gonna rip this up. Okay, so we'd have these orders. This is like I didn't want to do this because now it's gonna be like potentially falling everywhere, but I do want to see how big these are. Yeah. So the most common order size was like $10. Like, you know, they get a $5 bag of salad mix. Like I have this like okay, you guys, like look, I have this like ripped. Sorry, tripod. Oh, so awkward. Okay, so I have it ripped down to here because I don't want them, and then I'm still trying to like pull it out, but it's like crammed in there so hard. They're like, we've got to make sure all 500 are in this pack. There we go. I got it. Okay. So we had this order where people would get like $10, right? They get like a bunch of carrots and, you know, like a bunch of beets and a $5 bag of lettuce. And then we'd put it into the big grocery bag, and it would, you know, it'd be like this much in the grocery bag. We kind of needed this like smaller size to just hold a couple bunches. So this is the next size down in sizing. Let me look around and make sure that I don't have other random things. Yeah, okay. So this is the next size down. So yeah. So this I ordered this hoping that this will work out as being the awkward size bag for, like, you know, when people just want to get like 2 bunches of something, or, you know, just a couple things. But, you know, it's still like a bit too small, I feel. Like, it's crazy what a difference. Like, you know, so here's the lunch bag, you know, and it's like only a tiny bit smaller for the lunch bag. Maybe I didn't, you know, like now I'm like, maybe I didn't order. Maybe I ordered the wrong thing. Because I did have some mess ups on the thing. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm looking, it's definitely deep. It's nice and deep, right? So you get lots in there, right? Like you can get stuff in there and still carry it, right? Because that's the one thing about this. You know, you could load this up. It's not necessarily easy to carry, but it's good for like bunching stuff. But yeah, I'm a princess in the pea-ing about getting the perfect size grocery bag. You know, like a little bit shorter but still wider. I'm sure it exists. It just might not exist in the recycled in the recycled. And these, well, 100% we'll use these. And then next year I'll order some other stuff. Okay, so I waited to go through all this stuff until I did it on the video. So part of this is me just playing around and checking out what all my stuff looks like. What is this? Oh, you know what? I knew there was. I was like, where's the fourth one? Okay, maybe this is my perfect size drip bag, right? Because this looks like this is the third one. I thought this was my plastic bags, but this looks like, okay, guys. I think this is what I wanted for the drips. This is gonna be perfect. Look at that. Exactly what I was looking for. Like those bags they have at like the candy store, right? This is like a little candy store bag. Yeah, no, there was something wrong with the other one that I was like so hard. Yeah, so that's the perfect size. So this is perfect. The stems can go in there, get bunched up. This will be perfect for all the drips. And then this also, you know, this will be the perfect size bag to for like the cherry tomatoes. I think that people will like this. The stuff that is that people who don't want to take home the berry baskets, I think this will be the perfect size for all that stuff, right? Because it's still small enough that we can load it nicely into the other bags. Yeah, the perfect bag. I still need that like medium size. You know, the big grocery store bags are massive. You know, basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a bag that would work the way a plastic grocery store bag does. Because these paper bags are the paper bags are almost like the size of like 2 grocery store bags. They are really big and they hold a lot, which is awesome. Because I like to hold it like underneath. So it's nice not to have so many. Okay, yeah, but look at that. So like for this, you could fold down the sides and then like stuff it with stuff. This is like the perfect little bag for, you know, just fill that up. Cherry tomatoes, you can snack on them at the market. I'll use that for a lot of stuff. Okay, let's see. I need to find, Team Flowers. Hopefully Team Flowers hasn't ditched because my shopping bags are so boring. Not that I blame you guys, but I got something over here to show off to Team Flowers. This is all the wraps. Okay, and so I'm gonna address. Yeah, Fatty's on the couch. Fatty lives on the couch. So I see you guys all talking about like waxed paper as like options for stuff, and so I am very purposeful about not wanting the waxed paper products because the ones that I find here, you know, the waxed paper products that I can buy, they are not wax. They are plastic coated. So like butcher's paper is a great example of something people would call like a wax coated craft paper. Butcher's paper is like laminated with a really thin plastic. And so like I see you guys all talking about like the fry paper. I know that you can get like I've seen waxed ones, but a lot of them are actually plastic coated. So you know, I know I said that we do the plastic for the salad mix, but you know, my goal is to not do plastic as much as possible, and so for that reason, you know, there's a lot of these products that you think don't have plastic, and then they do. You know, like another example of something. So we talked about it earlier. We hadn't done labels before on our bags. Part of that is like we don't want to do stickers. We're purposeful about doing stamps onto things to label for our marketing, because stickers are yet again a good example of something, that's garbage instead of, like paper, right? Like a sticker can't sticker has to go in the garbage can. Sticker can't go in the compost. I know that because that's part of the reason why I don't like to get the compost that comes from our local dump, because it's full of produce stickers, which are just plastic, and so they're yeah. So there's lots of stuff. Oh, Bo's checking out. What am I doing, Bo? Huh? Yeah. So yeah, that is why, like a wax paper product isn't necessarily what I would go to as like my first option. Just that so many of them are limited in not being wax. And then I know too, a lot of people, like you guys were all saying, I should use the newspaper for the use the newspaper for the drips on the bouquets, and it's about scale, right? If I was sending a bouquet home, with my parents, it'd be easy enough to have enough newspaper to give it off. But at a certain point, when you're doing it on like a commercial scale, which is the goal, basically the goal at the farm is I want to be doing things in the way that makes it so I couldn't be just scrounging free supplies, because I would need to scrounge so much that it just would no longer be possible. So this is like a perfect example. And this is the thing that I was saying Team Flowers was going to be all excited about. So this is 18-inch by 18-inch square paper. And this is going to be, because I'm going to wrap my bouquets this year. So what you do with it is you fold it, right? I've seen people say, like, I would think when I fold it that you'd fold it all the way in half, but people are saying that you like stagger, right? And I can see that, like it makes it a little bit bigger, and then you like put it around the flowers, right? Get my beautiful new stapler, staple it, and then look, got a little sleeve. So I got a case of this, which I'm all excited about, because I can make my beautiful $20 bouquets. They're gonna look so nice, all wrapped up in paper. I may or may not stamp them. Probably not, because that'll be a lot of work. Maybe I'll stamp the if I end up doing the flower CSA, which I think I'm gonna do, then I'd probably stamp those, because I want them to be all beautiful and fancy. But yeah, so I'm excited about this. And like these paper pieces, this might also be a solution that I could do for the drips, right? I could send some of these papers, right? And then we could use it like the newspaper, right? Like Ian could have a stack of these, he grabs the bouquet, bunches it up on the bottom, for them to go home with. These in Uline, I think these are like packing supplies, right? So the idea of this is you like bunch it up to fill spaces in boxes, we used to have like a white, like I wanted craft paper, I want like the recycled stuff, but we used to have the white stuff, like I'd see people have it all the time in retail stores, for like wrapping up delicate things. So I'm excited. I bought another case. I'm not gonna open it, because I know once it gets opened, then it's gonna be a pain in the butt. But I bought a 24 by 18 too. And I bought the 24 by 18 because I figured that the 18 by 18 seemed like it would do a pretty good size bouquet. I could because our plan for this year for the bouquets, sorry, just adjust this a bit. Yeah, our plan for the bouquets is bigger. We're doing $20 bouquets for this year, or bunches of straight flowers. And I'm not going to wrap the bunches. Only the bouquets will be wrapped. And so, like, the 18 by 18 will be 100% fine for the $20 bouquets. And there'll be more than enough for even like a $30 bouquet. But if someone was to like order, like want a bigger bouquet, or, let's say it was looking like maybe there was potential for bringing $40 bouquets or something, it'll be nice to have that 18 by 24. Oh, you know what? You know what's something else? Here, I'm going to grab my ball of paper. So I was saying to you guys that I have all my family all year long saving newspaper for me to be able to do the paper pots. Because like a newspaper isn't actually that much paper in it. A newspaper usually only has like about 6 pages. So, that'd be like 12 paper pots. And so, if you get one of those a week, right? Like let's just say 10 for ease, right? So my family saves me up their weekly newspaper flyer free thing that comes in the mail. They get 52 of them, and it makes it so I can do 10 paper pots. That's only 520 paper pots. We end up doing like thousands and thousands of these paper pots. So it ends up like I need so many sheets of newspaper, which ends up being a lot of newspaper. So, it's still sustainable. I think I can do it for this year. But going forward, and also to make a nicer looking product, I'm thinking that maybe this is what I want to do. Maybe I want to order the Uline paper, and so this 18 inch, like this is the perfect size. Maybe so I have the 18 by 24. I could take the 18 by 24, cut it in half. So now it's 18 by 12. I need the 18 for length to do the round, and then folding over the ends. Like maybe I'll end up doing craft paper pots, just as a way to be able to have enough of the paper easily to get on hand to do those paper pots. So yeah, the craft paper, as I was going through the website, I was definitely got me thinking. I know this bad cat. I have a basket of dried flowers, so he's like, oh, I didn't know I could eat and destroy those ones too, right, buddy? Right? He's a bad cat. I think that they're also like, let's go inside. Okay, so I saw the question about the stamp. I think I ordered mine on Etsy. Not all of the places offered the size that I got. The size that I got is like big. It's like a really big. I think it was over $100. It might have been $150. Yeah. So like, depending on like what you're getting, and then it was custom made. I mean, there might be a local place, but I was like, easy to do it on Etsy. Find someone who does it. Do you staple the paper for the bouquets? Oh yeah, let me obsess about my new stapler again. Oh, you want to hear me talk about how excited I am about this stapler? Maybe you guys can see why I'm excited now. Yeah, so what you do when you do the sleeves is you like staple at the bottom. Let's fold it back into a triangle. Yeah, so sleeve. Let's take some of this dried stuff I got in this bucket here. I don't have staples, so I can't show you the staples. But, oh, look at this beautiful bouquet of dead. This is lettuce. Look, isn't that fun? This is lettuce dried. I thought that looked cool. This one, maybe not so much. Let's pull that one out of there. That's the sad lettuce. But yeah, look. Okay, I think this is great. I was like having a ton of fun with all the lettuce that went to seed. And then I just left a bucket of it and it actually dried into a nice color. Okay. Not obsessing about my dead lettuce. Okay, sleeve. Let's see, where's the camera? All right, so what you do is you put it up pretty high, right? Because you need the stems to go into the water. And it's easier because you've already elastic this. And then you take the sleeve, you know, you'd have it on the table. And then it's easier too when it's not dried stuff, because dried stuff is very... This bouquet is too big! Okay, I can't even show you without destroying this. Okay. More reasonable size bouquet. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so you take it, you put it up where the thing is, right? And then what you do at this point, right? So you just fold it, and then you take this lovely stapler. Oh, look how ergonomic it is. Oh, one-handed. Works so good. You can get it. This is like a feature, like it being super flat. Because what you're going to do is you're going to press the stapler in right against the base. Because you want it tight so it doesn't just slide down. Because if it slides down, then it's going to fall into the water. Right? So then you staple it. I don't have staples. Right? And then at this point, then you have these pieces. And then you put them together and you carve it over. And then you get that stapler again. And then you stick it in and you staple it there. Right? And then that makes the cone stay shut. And then you can really control how open it is. Right? Like, so the staple on the bottom is how tight, like you want it tight, so that it doesn't fall down the stems. And then the size of the cone is how far across, right? So if you want, like, see, so if you want it skinny, you wrap it tight. If you want your cone, you know, if you have lots of flowers in there, right? Like now you're only holding it a little bit and now you have a big cone. So I don't know if that at all helps or makes sense. But that action that I just did is why I was like so excited about this really comfortable stapler, right? Like these are the type of things that I get like really excited about because like, so this is like a comfortable grip on my tiny little lady hand, but oh look, it's actually open all the way. So it's not like it's partially squeezed already just for the size of my hand, right? Like I can comfortably, loosely hold this in my hand, have it open, so I now don't have to fight with it to get in there. And so here, watch this. See, like such a small movement gets it shut, and then, you know, that final action, you know, there's nothing in there. So this will be no effort. This will be a little bit of effort. You know, this kind of movement, I'm very, very careful about the squeezing, because that's your carpal tunnel causing style movement. So yeah, not so bad when you're doing, you know, 5 bouquets, but if I do $20 bouquets and I do 50 bouquets a week, so that I'm making, you know, $1,000 in bouquets, which would be amazing because then it'd be a lot of money. You know, doing that one-handed awkwardly every week might start to irritate the wrists. Yeah, so things like that, weird things. You know, there's so many things. You know, it's like the, you know, I think. Oh, and that's everything. Oh no, you know what? That isn't everything. I brought you guys over here. Getting all distracted. Never get through stuff. It's like taking forever, guys. Yeah, but it's like this craft paper, right? Like being like, oh, like eventually newspaper is going to be too hard to source. You know, it's just the scale of stuff. You know, stuff that's like super easy to figure out when you're only doing 100. Complicated when you're doing 1,000, and then, you know, involves thinking about things you've never had to think about when you're doing 10,000. You know, Okay. Oh, okay. Here's my poly bags. They're hiding. Okay, I'm gonna grab it and come back. I was gonna wait and open this up with you guys. So I didn't know what size bag I should buy. This is a 10 by 14, flat, ungusted, 1 mil poly bag, which this might not be what I want. I might want to get, so gusset is when it sits like flat. Makes it a little bit easier to open up, which makes it faster for stuffing. I was worried that oh, okay. So I have a paper pot video. I didn't see the questions before. I have a video about how to make paper pots. It's probably 2 years old at this point to like go back and to find it. And it was like called like seed starting with garbage or something like that. Yeah, and I use a wine bottle because that is, I find the wine, oh, there we go. Thanks so much. Yeah, they are very, very easy. I can do a lot of them. I'm going to start working on them soon to get some pre-done. They take a long time to pot. I'm needed for bedtime hugs. Okay, well, I need 5 minutes, but we're almost done here. Okay, so there's my 10 by 14. I think this is the right size. All right, let's get my prop, that piece of paper. So what we're gonna do with these is we're gonna take them. Yeah, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, we stuff the lettuce in there, right? And then you go like, you get some air in there, and then you go and you twist it, and it's easier when there's lettuce instead of paper, right? And so then you got the little thing, and then you got this, and they go, and you put the tape. I have the little tape machine, and then I think these are gonna be the right size. I don't know. I don't know how big of bags I'm gonna do. I was thinking like maybe, I don't know, maybe 1/3 of a pound, maybe 200 grams. I have to play with the lettuce and decide. Yeah, so plastic bags, and then we're gonna, okay, and then the most exciting thing of all, we're gonna get these labels. This is what a lot of the money was. We spent $1,100 of the $2,700 order on labeling supplies, and $600 of that $1,100 is the printer. It's like a thermal printer, and it's saying it has up to 500 labels a day. So, Team Flowers, get out of here. If you're gonna heckle, you can at least use the emojis that I made to heckle me. Okay, I want to, like, I'm opening this up because I want to see what these look like. So, we've been, yeah, if you're gonna heckle me, oh, there we go. Ian is Team Flowers. That's Ian in emojis. Okay, so I got some of these. These are my skinny ones. Right? Here, get one off. Right, so I was thinking this, I don't know. If I need something where it just says our name and our address, I know that we're supposed to have our name and our address on our eggs. So I was thinking this might work. Okay, I don't know if we're working still. It dropped there for a second. Yeah, but so this, if I only need our farm logo, I think this would work pretty good. I do like that cat, Ian. Okay, I want to find one of these bigger ones. I bought a couple different sizes because, like the paper bags, I don't know exactly what exactly I need because I've never played around with the labels before. So the labels are for going on the bags of salad mix. Right? Bags are for these things. Right? When we pack them up, we are supposed to label what is in them. We're not supposed to just bring them unlabeled. And then the other thing too is we're gonna do a little bit more with the salad mix. This coming year, we're gonna grow more of it, and we're gonna grow options. I'm, in my head, I'm like percolating what it's gonna be. The plastic shouldn't be damp, right? Like, so the question of if they'll stick, it shouldn't. If the plastic's wet, we have an issue. I also, if the bags are getting wet, we have an issue too. Basically, the workflow for it is that we would be inside, the salad mix would be like done and dried, ready to bag. We bag them into these. Maybe there'd be a little bit of moisture inside, but there shouldn't be anything outside. They'd get packaged up, and then at that point, we'd stick a label on, and then we'd stick them into the bins to then go into the cooler. We wouldn't be throwing loose bags. I was saying this at the very, very beginning of the thing, but so the plastic that I picked is actually a really thin plastic, right? Like it's the kind like that would tear really easily, right? Like you can see my fingers just pop through there. It's like the kind that's like really stretchy. You pull it and it's okay. Like 2 minutes. So because of that, we will need to be careful with the bagged salad mix that they're not getting trashed on the way down to the market. We will have to package them for bringing them to the market, or package them for going into the walk-in cooler. And then so these are the labels, and then I think that this is a 2-inch. This is 4-inch by 2-inch. And so we have a couple different versions of our logo. So on this, I could have our vertical logo and then the info on the side. And then I have another one that's a little bit bigger. And yet, on that one, if I wanted, I could have the logo at the top and then writing underneath. I'm gonna have to play with designing my labels. Basically, my label maker comes, my printer, because it's shipped separately. When it shows up, I'll have to get the software and I'll have to start designing them. But yeah, I have a couple different salad mixes that we're going to be doing this year. I'm going to be doing something with mustard. That's because it's our favorite. We love eating it. We'll do a pure lettuce one because that's what we normally do and people love it. I have a bunch of really cool stuff that I want to do as baby greens. We're gonna have a smoothie mix. We're gonna do sorrel and kale, which is ultimate. People, my goal is to convince people that they need to have sorrel in their life. And the way I'm gonna do it is I'm not gonna sell it as sorrel. I'm gonna sell it as lemon leaf because it basically tastes like a really lemony spinach. So it's really enjoyable. But if you don't know what it is and someone's like, buy sorrel, it doesn't really sell itself. Okay, Ian's gonna murder me if I don't get going. But yeah, so that's all my Uline stuff, and why we're okay with spending $1 million on Uline stuff, because it will make more than $1 million in theory. Okay, so one more go over on this community tab. If you're looking for the community tab, it's easy to find on mobile. I know they pop up often on mobile, but no matter what platform you're on, go to the channel, and along the top, it has different options, right? In the same way that you can go to the You Can't Eat the Grass channel, and then you can pick videos, right? Instead of just the homepage, where there's a couple playlists that are there, you can go videos, and then you get all of our videos. Further along on the tabs is the community tab. We love hearing from you guys. We love getting comments. YouTube has disabled the comments on our channel, so we cannot have comments on the videos themselves, but we always make a community post, or we try. Sometimes we forget. We make a community post for the videos, and then for the members specifically, there's also member information in there, including the link to the member live video, which will be Friday night, this like upcoming Friday night. I don't have the link in there yet, but I'll get it up, like talking to you guys in the next day or two. But yeah, so for everyone, it's a great community tab, an on-platform way that we have comments, because we don't have comments on the videos. Okay, so just to repeat that, because we've had a few of those asked this week. All right, thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Sorry I spent 2 hours talking Uline with you guys. That is a very niche topic. So it means so much that so many of you guys come and join us. And we will chat again next week. Maybe there'll be some seeds showing up. I have some sunflower seeds that are going to be super exciting that I'm patiently waiting for. Okay, see you guys. Thanks again.